the Sumner's back-to-back test, as well as auto transformers and parallel operation, very important topics. We'll see the problems on this. This almost single phase transformers will be over, except the tab changes. So we can start three phase. So coming to the Sumner's test, it is also called as back-to-back test. So this test is mainly used to find out the temperature rise in the transformers. So if you take a small temperature, a small transformer, you can load the transformer and conduct the test. Full load you can apply and you can find out the temperature rise of the transformer. But if you take the large transformer, it is uneconomical to connect the full load and conduct the test and finding the temperature rise, all these. So that's why it is always better to go ahead with the Sumner's test for large type of transformers. Large type of transformers to measure the temperature rise. Here you can see the testing setup with all the ratings. It is a actual laboratory setup. So here two transformers are there. The primary of the transformers are connected in parallel to the supply, and the secondary of the transformers connected in series. You can observe these two are primary. These primaries are connected in parallel to the supply, and these two are secondaries. They are connected in series to the supply here. So why these are connected like this? Let us see these wattmeter, ammeter, voltmeter. These are the different ratings. So especially if you see, we can observe this is for OC test purpose, this is for SC test purpose, and you can find out the parameters related to that. Let us see the general diagram like this. You can also observe the circuit diagram. Two transformers, both the primaries are connected in parallel to the supply, and both the secondaries are connected in series to the supply here. So the first step is why these two are connected in series, because here first we have to check whether they are in opposite polarity or not. There should not be any circulating current. For that, we are going to connect one voltmeter here. The rating of this voltmeter is 2 times of this rating. That means, if possible, if they are not connected in opposite polarity, then what happens? If it is 230 plus 230, 460 volts may appear here. That's why the voltmeter rating is 2 times of this rating. A voltmeter is connected here. And the first step is, it is conducted on 2 identical transformers. And the 2 secondaries are connected in series with their polarities in phase opposition. As I said, if they are not in phase opposition, what happens? There will be a circulating current. So we have to check whether they are in the phase opposition or not first. So once after clarifying that they are in phase opposition, that means the voltmeter reads 0 value. There is no voltage or there is no circulating current here. Then voltmeter reads 0 value. They are in phase opposition. Then only we have to go ahead with the test. Okay. When wattmeter reads 0, the voltage is injected in the secondary circuit by means of auto transformer fed from the source. Here, one point you have to understand. The first step is, here we will apply the rated voltage. At that stage, we won't apply any supply here. We won't give any supply here. The rated voltage here, the current in the secondary is 0 because we are not supplying anything. That means it's just like a no load condition. When rated voltage is applied, the wattmeter reading gives iron losses. These are giving iron losses. This will give no load current. That means W1 gives the core loss, which is core loss of the 2 transformers. That means 2 times of the each transformer loss, 2 PC, you can say like that. After that, we will inject, that means we will supply voltage from this side so that the rated current flows in this. Okay. So then the wattmeter reading gives the copper loss. What is the copper loss? 2 times of the copper loss of each transformer. So that is the way we will conduct the test. First assuring 0 voltage, next applying rated voltage and finding the wattmeter ammeter readings, and after that injecting current into this series connected transformers, then finding wattmeter ammeter reading, which will give iron loss, which will give copper loss. So this is the way we can find out W1 is equal to 2 PC, W2 is equal to 2 PSC, iron loss and core loss for two transformers. So transformers are not supplying the load current, but rated iron losses and copper loss are there. Here we are not loading the transformers, full load you are not applying. So simply it is an indirect test. You are applying the rated current, applying the rated voltage to identical transformers. At the same time, they are not actually loaded. So we are finding copper loss and iron loss. Another point is this test is used to find out the temperature rise. How? So this transformers will be run back to back for 48 hours. So for every 1 hour, the temperature, oil temperature will be measured. Based upon the oil temperature, the temperature rise will be calculated. So this is about the Sumner's test. Understand? Somebody respond? Understand? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that is called Sumner's back-to-back test. So let us see one or two problems on this open circuit Sumner's test. Here the OC test results are given. Yesterday I have seen one problem on this. SC test results are given. Determine efficiency, approximate regulation of the transformer at full load, point in power factor. You can calculate the efficiency, you can calculate the voltage regulation from the OCSC results. From the OC test, it is a core loss. So therefore, from short circuit test on the high voltage side, we can take this is the current. From that, we can write the copper loss equal to I square R0 to 200. From that, R02 can be calculated. So after calculating R02, we'll calculate kVA, secondary side, V2 I2 by this 1000. So if you equate this one, this 5 kVA, what is given? So we'll get full load current. So therefore, copper loss at full load equal to I full load square, current full load square into R02. R02 already we got from short circuit test. So this is the way copper loss can be calculated. So therefrom, you can calculate the efficiency at full load. That means full load output by full load output plus full load copper loss plus iron loss. So already iron loss are given, copper loss calculated, and V2 I2 cos phi power factor is given. You will get efficiency. Generally, transformer efficiency is more than 90%, up to 95 will get. So because there are no rotating parts. From the short circuit test, they have given 40 volts. Therefrom, you can calculate Z. From the Z, you can calculate X. From this R and X values, you can calculate power factor, cos phi and sin phi. So therefore, you can calculate approximate voltage regulation. Yesterday we have done this one, I2 R0 to cos phi plus I2 X0 to sin phi divided by V2. So this is the regulation formula. You substitute all the values. That is 8.62%. So this is the way regulation efficiency can be obtained. So here you can see a test on the Sumner's a problem on that Sumner's test. Two similar 250 kVA single phase transformers give the following test results by back-to-back method. They have given W1 and W2 and find out the individual transformer efficiency at 75% of the full load and 0.8 power factor. So you see, what is W1? Iron losses. We know iron losses for both the transformers. What is W2? Copper loss for both the transformers. Therefore, iron loss for one transformer is half of that value. Full load copper losses on both the transformers given, that is the 7.5 kilowatt W2. Therefore, copper loss for each machine you can calculate. After getting this, copper loss of one transformer, here iron loss is constant, but copper loss depends upon the load. They have given 75% of the full load. So that's why at 75% of the full load means yesterday I have done X percentage. X percentage of the load means X square into copper loss. So that's why 0.75 square into copper loss you can do for a transformer. That is at 75% load, this is the copper loss. Then output of each transformer at 75% full load and 0.8 power factor is normally VI cos phi. Okay, VI, I means 75% of the current because 75% of the load. Cos phi is power factor. That's why 75% of kVA into 0.8. We will get the output. After getting the output, you can calculate the efficiency equal to X percentage of the full load kVA divided by X percent of the full load kVA plus iron loss plus X square into copper loss. Then you will get 97% efficiency. So this is the way you can calculate the efficiency regulation when the data is given for Sumner's test as well as OCSC test. Okay. Let us go ahead with the very important topic, auto transformers. After this, we'll discuss the parallel operation of the transformers. So what is the auto transformer? Tell me, have you come across this auto transformer in the first year? So auto transformer has a single winding on an iron core, single winding on iron core, and a part of the winding is common to both the primary and secondary, which is common. So it is a step down auto transformer where V1, V2 is less than V1 and N2 is less than N1, step down. It is a step up auto transformer where N2 is greater than N1, that means V2 is greater than V1. Depends upon the number of turns on the secondary. So step up or step down will be there. So you see the primary and secondary windings are connected electrically. They are connected electrically as well as magnetically. Electrically means conduction. Magnetically means induction. Okay, because of the flux in one winding, there is EMF induced in the other winding. That is electrically and magnetically they are coupled. Therefore, power from the primary is transferred to secondary conductively as well as inductively. Conductively means direct contact. Inductively means without connection, magnetically, by transformer action. So for this transformer, we can write E1 by E2 is equal to N1 by N2. That is equal to V1 by V2, which is equal to I2 by I1, which is equal to K. Here, K we are taking, normally it is A. Normally, don't confuse with this terminology. Normally, K transformation we are taking as N2 by N1. A will take N1 by N2. Here, K is equal to N1 by N2 we have taken, fill it as a. Okay. So, the theory of transformer, if you take winding 1-3 has total winding 1-3 has N1 number of turns, and winding 2-3 has N2 number of turns on the secondary. This is primary complete. This is secondary. The input current is I1 and output current is I2. So the portion of 1-2 of the winding has total is N1. This is N2. This winding has N1 minus N2 number of turns. So voltage across this portion of the winding is total is V1. This is V2. The voltage across this is V1 minus V2. The current through the common portion, this is I1, this is I2. Therefore, in this direction, I1 minus I2. In this direction, it is I2 minus I1. So these are the currents and voltages and number of turns relation here. Yeah. So coming to the continuation of the theory of the auto transformer, you can take the equivalent circuit like this. Okay, so we can draw the equivalent circuit with have seen in the previous diagram. You see this one. This is V1 minus Y2. This is N2 I2 minus I1. The same thing we have drawn like this. This is V1 minus I2 transformer. Other side is I2 minus I1. And this is the voltage applied across total is V1. The voltage in this is V2. This is an equivalent circuit. So from this equivalent circuit we can write V1 minus Y2 by V2. Just like V1 by V2 like that is equal to N1 minus N2 by N2. Therefrom, after simplifying this, we will get N1 minus N2 into V2 is equal to V1 minus V2 into N2. So therefrom, if you simplify all these things, we'll get V2 N1 is equal to V1 N2. So we got N2 by N1 is equal to V2 by 1 is equal to K. So this is the relationship we got here. So output of auto transformer. What is the output? V2 into I2. This is the output. V2 into I2 is the output, total output of the auto transformer across this. So the apparent power transferred inductively is equal to inductively transferred power is equal to V2 into I2 minus I1. So we can write I2 is equal to I1 by K. Okay, V2 is equal to V1 into K. You can write. Therefrom, if you simplify this expression, if you take I1 as a common factor, and we'll get this apparent power transfer inductively is equal to input into 1 minus K. So this is the power transferred inductively. Next, let us see the apparent power transferred conductively. Conductively means input minus input into 1 minus k. That means total input minus inductively transferred power is equal to conductively transferred power. So that's why total input minus this is inductively transferred power. Then it is input into k. So this is the way inductively transferred, conductively transferred power can be calculated. Suppose the input power to ideal transformer 1000 watts, let us take, and its voltage transformation ratio is equal to 0.25. Voltage transformation ratio. Then the apparent power transferred inductively, how much it is? Input into 1 minus k. That means 750 watts. Then the remaining power is 250 watts out of 1000 is conductively transferred power. So this is the way you can calculate the powers inductively, conductively. So what is the saving of power? Saving of copper in the auto transformer. For the same output voltage transformation ratio, same output as well as voltage transformation ratio, auto transformer requires less copper than ordinary two-winding transformer. Compared to normal two-winding transformer, it requires less copper. So how? Let us see. Weight of the copper required in the winding is a current externals. Let us take like this. Two winding transformers, if you take weight of the copper required, normal transformer, if you take what is the weight of the copper required? I1 N1 plus I2 N2. That means just like in terms of MMF, you can write that you can take it as a weight. This is the weight of the copper required. So if you take the auto transformer, what is the weight of the copper required in the section 1, 2? In this section 1, 2 is I1 into N1 minus N2. In this section, what is the copper required? I2 minus I1 into N2. So therefore, the total weight of the copper required is sum of these two. That means I1 into N1 minus I2 plus I2 minus I1 into N2. So therefore, weight of the copper in the auto transformer divided by weight of the copper in the ordinary transformer, you take this is the ratio you can write. So definitely you can take which is more, you can observe from this expression. So therefore, if you continue these expressions and taking N1 separate, if you minimize these expressions, multiplying this and simplifying these expressions and writing N2 N2 is equal to N1 I1, and then we'll get this ratio is equal to 1 minus N2 that is equal to 1 minus K. Means what? Weight of the copper in the auto transformer is 1 minus K times weight of the copper in the ordinary transformer. Differently, this 1 minus K is less than 1. You know that, because K is always a positive value. So it is always less than 1. Therefore, weight of the copper required in the auto transformer is less than weight of the copper in the ordinary transformer. So if you continue the saving of the copper in the auto transformer, WA is equal to 1 minus K into W0. So saving in copper, if you take ordinary transformer minus auto transformer weight, you substitute is just like W0 minus 1 minus K into W0, that is K times W0. This is the saving, K times W0. So saving in copper, you can calculate and you can do the problems using all these formulas if the transformation ratio is given and other values are given. Thus, if K is equal to 0.1, saving in copper is only 10%. If K is equal to 0.9, we can say the copper is 90%. Then what we can say, if K value is more, then we can say there will be more saving in the copper. So let us go for advantages and disadvantages and the limitations of the auto transformer. An auto transformer requires less copper than two-winding transformer. Already have seen for the same rating. Auto transformer operates at a higher efficiency than two-winding transformer of similar rating. Auto transformer, because losses are less. Auto transformer has better voltage regulation than two-winding transformer of same rating. Auto transformer has small size than two-winding transformer of same rating. Okay, if you take the same rating, auto transformer has all these advantages. You'll see the limitations also. Auto transformer requires smaller exciting current to produce the same flux than two-winding transformer of the same rating, because two windings are connected conductively. That's why it is easy to, the flux will can be easily linked Therefore, the exciting current will be less compared to normal two winding transformer. These advantages decrease. They will decrease if the ratio of the transformation increases. So auto transformer has advantages only for low values of the transformation ratio. So what are the disadvantages of auto transformers? There is a direct connection between primary and secondary. Therefore, output is no longer isolated from the input. Directly they are connected, primary, secondary, they are connected. So therefore, we can say that output is no longer isolated from the input. Normally, transformer means there is an isolation from input to output. It is not safe for stepping down a high voltage to a low voltage. Okay. The short circuit current is much larger than the two winding transformer of same rating because they are connected in series. This reduces the effective resistance and reactance. So these are the advantages. Coming to applications, these are used to compensate for voltage drops in the transmission, distribution lines. When used for this purpose, they are known as booster transformers. So these auto transformers used as boosters, with a single winding of the same core, and you can step up the voltage so that these are used as booster transformers. They are used for reducing the voltage supplied to AC motors during starting period. So even step down and step up purpose, you can see auto transformer is connected. We are also single phase auto transformers we are using in our laboratory. By using that, we can apply the required voltage using that. Auto transformers are used for continuous variable supply. You can vary the voltage to whatever the value you want. So let us see the limitations. Low impedance and hence high short circuit current already have seen on the secondary side. A section of winding is common to primary and secondary is open. Full primary voltage appears. Suppose if that is open, full primary voltage appears across the secondary. Then higher voltage on the secondary and danger of accident. Such problem is there because they are directly connected. Some section of the winding is open on the primary. No electrical separation between primary and secondary, which is a risky in case of high voltage levels. Economical only where the voltage ratio is less than 2. If K is less than 2, in such transformer it is more economical. So already have seen this construction, and this discussion already have seen differently. Some slides I have kept and go through the material already provided. So here one more important discussion in the transformers: how to convert a two winding transformer into auto transformer. So here you can observe a two winding transformer. Okay. So this you can convert the two winding transformers into auto transformer. So you can observe the secondary is connected in the primary. Here the polarities are very important, that I will show you in the next picture. So converted to auto transformer two ways: additive polarity, subtractive polarity. Additive means depends upon the dot convention. If you are connecting, okay, in this direction, then it is additive polarity. If you are connected in opposite direction, it is a polarity subtractive. Primary, secondary windings can be connected in series with additive polarity as shown here. Okay, in the direction of current, we have connected these two windings. So let us see this picture. Here you can observe 230 volts two winding transformer is there. Here this is the connection we have taken like this. Okay, so that means the current flow we observe. So let us take an example. You can understand very clearly from this. 230 volts the primary side and 230 volts here. You are getting 2000. This is 2300. Total voltage is 2530. The additive polarity. That means the current enters at the dot. Again here also current enters the dot. Therefore the total voltage is 2530, which is a step up transformer. So you can also get minus 2530 if you connect like this. Okay, it is also step up, it is also step up. But the thing is, here the current enters in this opposite direction. That means it goes like this. Not in dot here, dot is here. So in that direction, you will get minus 2530. Same step up transformer. Let us take this one. So it is 2300. So here dot, at this dot, it is entering. At this dot, it is leaving. So it is a subtractive polarity. Therefore, we will get 2300 minus 230, 2220 volts. So like this, Here if you connect like this 230 and plus 2300 plus in this opposite direction, it is just 2070 volts. So like this, a two winding transformer connected into auto transformer. By using this dot convention, you can get different voltages. So this is the explanation related to that also. So we have seen the advantages of the auto transformer. Limitations already seen, applications seen. So let us see a problem on this auto transformer. So here an auto transformer supplies a load of 5 kilowatt at 115 volts, unity power factor. If the primary voltage is 230 volts, determine transformation ratio, secondary current, primary current, number of turns in the secondary, if total number of turns is 400, power transfer, power conducted directly from the supply mains to load. So these are various questions. So first step is you calculate A, the transformation ratio, which is equal to VH by VL or V2 by V1. You can take anywhere. There are different nomenclatures. That is N2 by N1 or TH by TL. 230 by 15, 2. So what is the power output normally? P is equal to VI cos phi. Therefrom you can calculate the secondary current. P by V into cos phi. So this is the secondary current 43.48 amperes. We know what is the A, I1 by I2 or IL by IH. Both are same. So therefore we can calculate the primary current IH is equal to IL by A. Therefore 43.48 by 2, which is equal to 21.74 amperes. Okay. Here if you observe, the primary voltage is 230. Primary voltage is 230. Secondary voltage is what is that given? 115. So that means secondary voltage 115 means it is step down transformer. So step down transformer, here if you observe, this VH is primary, VL is secondary. So A is equal to V1 by V2. Normally we say K is equal to N2 by N1 or V2 by E1. A is equal to V1 by V2. You can take this one, A is equal to V1 by V2 for this transformer. So we are calculating that. That's why A is equal to I2 by I1. IL is nothing but I2 secondary current. IH is nothing but primary current. Okay, here high voltage is on the primary, low voltage is on the secondary. That is step down transformer. So therefore you can get the primary current like this. So therefore we know T1 by T2 is equal to A. Therefore secondary number of turns you can get from this. Therefore power transfer is equal to 1 minus K. K means 1 by A. I said K is equal to I2 by N2 by N1. A means N1 by N2. Therefore we can write the power transfer equal to 1 minus 1 by K. Now, so we can get power output 1 minus 1 by 2 into 5, 2.5 kilowatts. Therefore, power conducted is equal to K into power output. So this is the value. So in the previous one, what they asked? Transformation ratio, secondary current, primary current, number of turns, power transferred, power conducted directly. That much only. Let us see this question. An auto transformer supplies a load of 5 kilowatt, 110 volts unity power factor. So applied primary voltage is 220. Calculate the power transfer to load inductively and conductively. So inductively, conductively transferred power. First, you know, input volt amperes is equal to SIN is equal to input power by power factor. You know, VI cos phi. VI cos phi is equal to the power. Therefore, divided by power factor, if you do, you will get the power kVA rating. They have given kW. They have to calculate kVA. Therefore, TH by TL is equal to VH by EL. 220. What is this 220? Primary voltage. That means what you are going to calculate here? A. That means N1 by N2 is equal to V2. V1 by V2 is equal to 2 V got. So what is the inductively transferred volt amperes? Already we know the inductively transferred power is equal to total power into 1 minus K. Simply directly, you no need to derive all these steps. Simply input into 1 minus K. What is K? 1 by A. Therefore, 5 into 1 by 2, 2.5 kiloamperes. So these all came from the derivation. So power transferred inductively in terms of watts, if you want, simply this multiply with power factor. That's all. What is the conductively transferred power? Our direct formula is K into input. So therefore, 5 into what is K? 1 by A. 1 by 2. So directly you can calculate K here by taking V2 by V1. Or you can calculate A and you can do 1 by A. 1 by A. Anything is okay. So 5 into 1 by 2, 2.5. Therefore, what is power transfer in terms of watts into power factor? So this is about the auto transformer discussion. Now we'll